Hello guys, welcome back to the Super Guy Boy Show, and today we're going to be doing another stand analyst video on the Stone Ocean stand Survivor. Now, if you've read Stone Ocean or know anything about Stone Ocean, you know that this stand is notoriously known as being quoted by Dio, the worst stand in all of JoJo's. And I know by hearing of that, y'all may think, how is this little thing the worst stand in JoJo? As you may think, oh, is it because it's weak? Because once you look at its very shitty stats, you might think, oh, it might be physically weak. But y'all may be thinking, how is physically that terrible? As we did see not very powerful physical stands being able to be overpowered in their own ways. But this is a different type of terrible. As Survivor isn't physically powerful, but it isn't really useful either. And that's what I'm going to be tackling on this video is the ability and if it's actually the worst stand in JoJo's. Now, the thing about Survivor is that its ability is pretty simple, and it's the reason why Dio claims to be the worst stand. And that is that if there's water around the area and the stands around it, it will transfer 0.07 bolts into the brain, making everybody fight their full-on, like, fighting spirit potential until they are dead. And what this basically means is, let's say like a target is in the water, right? And basically if you activate Survivor, the 0.07 bolts will transfer that into their brains, and those group of people will start fighting to the death, as we did hear from the backstory that basically that they fought to the death. And it doesn't really matter if they lose pieces of their limbs or pieces of their body, as we did see from Westwood. He had like full-on chunks of his face literally punched out, and he still was fighting pretty well. So it doesn't even matter if the people take relatively amounts of damage, they will still fight until they're completely dead, as said by the backstory of it. And basically, that may not sound that bad, but once you hear the way Dio puts it, I do kind of agree with him of how this may be the worst stand in JoJo's, and that's because he says that it cannot differ between your friends or an enemy. And what this basically means is that how I imagine this is, let's say you're in Bucciarati's gang and you had this ability and you're getting attacked and you and your friends are getting attacked by a stand user. If you activate this stand, you're not really helping anybody. In fact, I think you're making it much worse, since you're turning your friends not only against you but against each other, and they'll basically fight to the death. And there is no way of stopping your friends until they're completely dead. Now, I don't know if really like we did see that if it's like a big bulky man, they will be powerful, they will overpower you and just do their full-on strength. So if this ability works on like a very like strong person, you're basically dead for sure. And that's why I kind of do see this ability as being really, really terrible. It is not useful in the least bit or slightest. It is not able to help you really. It cannot defend you, and it's just kind of an overall shitty ability that I would not love to have. And I do kind of agree with Dio. Now, is it the worst stand in JoJo's? No, I don't think this is actually the worst stand in JoJo's. Now, I do see only one use for it, and that is if you're someone like Chocolata, like someone who's just so unforgiving that you would just use this and then just run away. And like, yeah, that's the only use I can really see this stand really serving, is if you're someone who is sadistic or just morally terrible, as someone like a Chocolata or something like that. Like, I feel like if Chocolata had this stand, like, he would cause chaos with this, like, this stand. But to go back to my original question, is this the worst stand in JoJo's? No. And you're wondering, what is it beat by? And I think the worst stand is the Nijimura father stand. Yes, that's right. This weird booger thing is actually a stand. It was apparently something that Dio planted that was supposed to have like potential or something, but it ended up backfiring because the Nijimura's father, you know, he just became this goop and just this ugly booger monster, and he cannot die, he cannot defend himself. All he can do is just basically be in pain and just groan, moan in pain, while he can't even die. He can't even die at all. So what is the point of having this? Like, of course people may want the ability of immortality, but what's the point if you look like this? You can't even defend yourself. You're just a disgusting, sad sack of goop. And honestly, this is just, I think this takes the cake for honestly being the worst stand in JoJo's. So yeah, Survivor maybe in second place, but the Nijimura fathers, that is definitely the worst stand in JoJo's. Now, y'all post in the comments what y'all think the worst stand in JoJo is. And if you like this channel, if you like this video, like and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully you have a nice day. Hopefully you like the video. And yeah, see ya.